Finally, I want to talk a minute or two about reinventing our narratives. You talk a little bit
Mm,
about this, and why is it so crucial today in the world we're living in which we have lots of issues, to say
yeah,
the least. Why is it so important for us to learn how to reinvent the narratives that we're living inside of right now?
yeah. Well, that's a there's a
Mhm.
lot of things I could say there, but I think for me, um, one of my observations over the years is that we're all trying to optimize our environment in our favor so that we can thrive and be successful and be respected. And when people feel a sense of scarcity, often rightfully so, if I was an African American, what I would have been through culturally, people are seeking better ways forward.
Mhm.
And when we come to a place from a place of scarcity, we then are led to believe, and often provoked to believe, that it's a zero-sum game, that I only win if you lose. And if you win, then it means I'll have to lose. And so our institutions are under duress, our economies are under duress, the income disparities are far too out of line. And a lot of people are moving into a place of fear. And they're often provoked into that space or exaggerated into that space by those for whom it's convenient that these people are afraid.
Sure.
And so for me, we need new and better, bigger stories to hold the tensions that we feel without resorting to othering, without resorting to false dualities, without resorting to violence against each other. And so, what does it mean to be a living, breathing democracy? There's a lot of people that would prefer we not have one, right? I myself would like to have one. Um, there's a lot of people who benefit by not dealing with climate change. How do we create a story in which people feel power, empowered enough to reimagine what it's going to take to actually address this issue? And for me, it comes largely down to reinventing narratives, owning and taking responsibility for the narratives we have now, as opposed to blaming the others, even if they contributed to our difficult narratives. And then finding ways to collectively be together to realize we have far more in common than we often appreciate. We're all in the same boat. It's not like some win and some lose. If you're on the Titanic, it doesn't matter whether you have the most exquisite cabin or you're camped on the deck. You're going down, right? You might have a more pleasant descent if you're in a fancy room, but it's the
That's
same
right.
outcome.
Yeah.
And so I feel like we have daunting human challenges. And a lot of the actions, you think about the people that attacked the Capitol. I can understand some of the frustration. I can understand some of the anxiety about belonging and anxiety about the future. And it's not contributing to an outcome, right? It's just perpetuating, it's pouring gasoline on wounds. And so for me, it's more about how do we create narratives that allow more people to see a future for themselves and a deeper realization that we're all connected in this. And that when that person's in pain, it brings pain to me and to us. Um, and so I just feel like for now, a lot of even the narratives about social change are no longer adequate. We're
Mhm.
in a very different time, a very difficult time. And we actually had a big gathering yesterday with some of our students talking a bit about we just need new methods of intervening and being with people because a lot of what we had before are just not enough soon enough. And so for me, I think it comes fundamentally, as it always does, back to our own stories and
Yes.
how do we create narratives in which more of our stories can flourish.
Hmm. David, thank you for your time today. This has been just delicious
Mm.
exploration for me.
Mm.
And I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to continuing the conversation with you. Thanks.
Mm. Thank you, Richard. It's great to spend time with you. Yeah.